So Uncle Sultan, you've lived your entire life in the mountains. पूरी जिंदगी फिर आपने पहाड़ों में ही गुजारी है.
Yes.
मतलब आपकी पहचान, आपका दिल इस इन पहाड़ों में ही है.
ज़्यादातर मैंने 30-40 साल परदेश में गुजारी, जंगलों में, मैदानों में, दरिया के किनारों पर, पहाड़ों में, और अभी भी मैं इन पहाड़ों में ज़िंदगी गुजारता हूँ. मैं खुश हूँ.
Hidden away in this Himalayan range, high up, nestled in the Karakoram Mountains, lies a breathtaking valley, home to a very mysterious indigenous kind. They have been isolated for centuries, cut off from the rest of civilization. These people have their own language, culture, traditions, and a way of life that feels almost untouched by time. They boast an incredibly unique, ancient lineage, making their origins still a mystery. Some believe their secret lies in the Karakoram Mountains themselves. They are warriors, farmers, innovators, and mountaineers. They are the Burusho People.
अब इतनी झूठी तारीफ ना करें.
नहीं अच्छा बना ना. पहले वाला तो खराब बना था.
जी. पहले तो बहुत खराब बना था.
When I first met a Burusho family, it was over breakfast. I was simply a backpacker, a mere traveller passing through. They welcomed me into their home and showed me how they cook, how they eat, how they live. At the time, I had thought that this was simply just a breakfast together. Little did I know that this was the start of something that was about to change my life forever.
So I was travelling, exploring Hunza, staying in a guest house, and what would happen is where my guest house was, it was in a residential area. So every time I would leave my guest house to go out, I would walk through this alleyway that had homes built either side. Children would stand on the roof of the homes because they're just playing, chilling out, doing what they do best. And as I would pass from below, they would shout out to me from above. They would say salam and I would return the salam. Alina और Sahil. आप दोनों मेरे नए दोस्त हो ना? साहिल आप मेरी तस्वीर खींच रहे हो या वीडियो? तस्वीर खींच रहे हो? मैं अच्छी लग रही हूँ ना तस्वीर में? And this became our daily routine. There was a brother and sister in particular, Alina and Sahil, that I became very friendly with. Every single day without fail, 2-3 times a day when I would pass through the alleyway, they would shout down to me from the roof and I would shout back up. इस घर में आना है मुझे? आप मुझे बुला रहे हैं? आप खाना पका सकती है? Local dish. And the children got very, very used to seeing me. They would wait every day that, oh, okay, Asra Appa meaning older sister, Asra Appa is going to pass today, we're going to greet her. आपसे भी मिलकर मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई. ये मेरे नए दोस्त ने मुझे अभी अपने घर में बुलाया है.
हमारे अंकल लोग दुबई में हैं, हम इधर रहते हैं.
आपके अंकल लोग दुबई में रहते हैं?
हाँ.
और आपको कहाँ रहना है? हुंजा में रहना है, दुबई में रहना है?
हमें हुंजा में रहना है क्योंकि हमें मजा आता है यहाँ बने हैं.
मुझे भी यहाँ रहना है. मैं रुक जाओ. क्या कहते हैं आप? रुक जाओ या मैं चली जाओ?
रुक जाओ. हमें बहुत मजा आएगा आपके साथ.
मुझे भी. आप मुझे रोज घुमाने लेकर जाएंगे?
हाँ.
And then everything changed. I fell so poorly, severely poorly, alone in a guest house, weak and fading.
I thought I was dying. It was bad. I've never been that unwell in my life. It was horrific. I was questioning that, am I dying? What's happening to me? Am I withering away?
With nobody to look after me, the harsh mountain weather, and no facilities to stay warm despite my high fever, I got weaker and lost hope, thinking that this was the end. But little did I know that there were angels looking out for me.
Now, as you can imagine, the children were on the roof waiting for Abba Asra to pass by. One day goes by. The children are waiting, there's no sign of Abba Asra. 2 days go by, and there's no sign of Asra Appa. On the third day, the brother and sister Alina and Sahil, they started asking around for me and ended up at my guest house and found me there, half dead. They were absolutely horrified, informed their family. News had spread that there's an English girl in this guest house completely alone and she's horrifically unwell. So Alina and Sahil, bless him, from their own home, they would bring me food, they would bring me drinks, they would bring me medicine.
With the children now caring for me, I started to gain strength. They would come to my guest house daily and would sit with me for the entire day as I just lay there and slept.
Hi, hello, fellows. ये मेरी बहन है और ये मेरी सबसे छोटी बहन और ये मैं हूँ. Are you okay? Bye.
At the time, I was so annoyed at the kids for filming whilst I was so low.
Hello, honey bunny.
But now that I have these memories, I'm grateful that they did. The children never left me. They came to me every day without fail, and a week later, I was back on my feet. The news of my situation had spread to the same family who had hosted me for breakfast. They were horrified when they found out, and no longer wanted me to stay in the guest house.
It took me 10 days to get better, but I was nursed back to health by the locals. And then this family shifted me into their home and they said, don't stay in a guest house, stay in this home. This is your home, you are our daughter, you stay here.
And in doing so, I learned that the Burusho people don't just welcome strangers, they embrace them, make them family. For an entire month, I became one of them. Lived as they did, ate their food, spoke their language, and saw the world through their eyes.
थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है, मेहनत करना पड़ता है, तकलीफ होती है, लेकिन हम खुश हैं.
I became a part of their daily life, their struggles, their joys. I learnt to farm, to cook their food, taught in their schools, and trekked through their mountains like they have for generations.
और किधर मुल्क में गया हूँ तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, अपना गुजारा कर लेता.
I learnt what it was to be Burusho. This, ladies and gents, is a story of how a meal became a home, how a traveller became a daughter, a sister, and how a valley hidden in some of the tallest mountains on the planet became my home, a place that is now a part of me, forever. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Asra Hussein, and this is my story with the Burusho people of Hunza Valley. Hunza is a small district in the mountainous north of Pakistan and borders with China and Afghanistan. Now, I have an entire documentary explaining my year in Pakistan and why I ended up there. It is the introduction video to this entire series.
लेकिन आप आए तो आप बाहर के लोगों को आप चलो अपना तारुफ भी करें कि आप कहाँ से हो.
मैं इंग्लैंड से आई हूँ और मेरी पैदाइश और परवरिश इंग्लैंड में ही हुई है, इसलिए मेरी उर्दू टूटी फूटी है. और मैं पाकिस्तान पहली दफ़ा आई हूँ, मैं ज़िंदगी में पाकिस्तान नहीं आई हूँ.
मेरे दादा इस मुल्क के थे, तो मेरी पूरी खानदान इंग्लैंड में. तो यहाँ पे मेरा कोई रिश्तेदार नहीं, कोई दोस्त नहीं, तो मेरे घर में कभी कोई वजह नहीं थी यहाँ पाकिस्तान आने के लिए. मेरा ख्वाब था कि एक दिन मेरे जो दादा के मुल्क है, मैं एक दिन जाके देखूंगी कि मेरे दादा के मुल्क कैसा है, तो अपने बंदे जो पाकिस्तानी लोग हैं वो कैसे. तो
Hunza is split into 3 parts. The majority of Upper Hunza is home to the Waki people. In episode 2, you see me live with one of the Waki tribes as they had invited me to a wedding. The Wakis were the first Himalayan people to take me in, and it was an experience I'll never forget. You'll find the Shinaki people mainly in Lower Hunza, and Central Hunza is home to majority Burusho people.
the village that I first started my Hunza trip with. I started with Karim Azeez, and now I've gone village to village to village to village to village all over, because Hunza is full of lots of little villages, and now I've come back to Karim Azeez.
Karim Azeez is the main town and tourism hub of Hunza. home to Baltic Fortress, a magnificent structure perched overlooking the entire town. Karimabad is where I found my second home, where half of my heart belongs, and where my host family, whom I now fondly refer to as my Himalayan mountain family, live. Now, the villages of Hunza operate on a tribal system. The Burusho people in Karimabad have 4 different tribes. My family belonging to the Kurukuts tribe. Each tribe is run by a chief, known as a Nambardar. Above these 4 chiefs is one Ala Nambardar, the chief of the chiefs.
Hunza in general and the Hunzai people, they are probably some of the most hospitable, friendly and big-hearted people I have ever come across in my life. These people are a different breed of human beings.
The Burusho people are a population only in the hundreds of thousands, which is why they are an ethnic minority. They have lived in this valley for centuries, living life to their own rules, cut off from the rest of the world. They've preserved their traditional clothing, customs, traditions, and music and dance are a major part of their culture, with the tunes being associated to different tribes and famous personalities of the past. Their language, Burushaski, is a rare and isolated language with no link to any other language family. In a world of interconnected languages, Burushaski stands alone as a complete linguistic mystery. It's incredible how the language has survived for centuries when it's never been written and not spoken anywhere else on Earth. However, researchers working to preserve the language have begun to write it in the Roman and Arabic script.
Bihal billah.
بحال بالله
Aram billah shukdo. Uni bihal billah. Amular nicha se. Amular nicha.
Amla nicha se, amla nicha le.
Amular nicha se, amular nicha
Le.
Shwa billah. Samajh gayi.
I picked up a few words of Burushaski here and there whilst living with my Hunza family, mainly from the mother Mehtab and the daughter Amantika. You'll see that when I first moved in, I addressed the parents as Auntie Mehtab and Uncle Hamid. And as time passes and we grow closer, I then start addressing them as Ummi and Abu, Mum and Dad. Now, when I don't speak Burushaski, you'll be wondering, how on earth did I communicate with the Burusho people?
Now, the literacy rate here in Hunza is very, very, very high. Pretty much everybody is educated, especially the young generation. I have not yet come across a young person that's not going to school here in Hunza.
Who here can speak English? Raise your hand. Everybody raise your hand because you all can. You're all so very clever.
With a 97% literacy rate in Hunza, the youngsters would really enjoy speaking with me in English. And before flying out to Pakistan, I had spent 2 years with a teacher studying the country's national language, Urdu.
So because the literacy rate is so high and everybody is educated here, they all speak Urdu very, very well. I have even come across children as young as 5, 7, 8 years old that speak Urdu fluently, and bear in mind it's not their mother tongue, it's not their language.
Even the non-educated, so you'll see someone like Auntie Mehtab whose home this is. She's never gone to school a day in her life, and I just can't seem to understand how she speaks so much Urdu. आपने उर्दू कहाँ से सीखा? मैं अंग्रेज़ों के साथ बड़ी हुई हूँ। मेरे जितने भी उस्ताद थे सारे अंग्रेज़, जितने भी दोस्त थे सारे अंग्रेज़। मैं जिस स्कूल पे गई थी, मैं जो बहुत छोटी थी, वहाँ पे सारे अंग्रेज़ थे और बस 3 बच्चे थे जो अंग्रेज़ नहीं थे और मैं उन 3 बच्चों में से एक थी। इसलिए मेरी उर्दू टूटी फूटी, आप मेरी टूटी फूटी उर्दू को नजरअंदाज करें। मेरी मादरी ज़बान अंग्रेजी, मैं बचपन से अंग्रेजी बोलते आई हूँ। जब मैं यूनिवर्सिटी गई थी तो जिंदगी में पहली दफा मेरे पाकिस्तानी दोस्त थे, तो उनके साथ दोस्ती करके उनके साथ वक्त गुजार के मेरी उर्दू बेहतर हुई है। मेरा जब घूमना फिरना मुकम्मल हो जाएगा ना पाकिस्तान में, मैं एक उस्ताद देने वाली हूँ, मैं सही तरीके से उर्दू सीखने वाली हूँ। फिर मैं वापस आऊँगी, फिर मैं अपनी उर्दू मारूंगी आपके सामने, ठीक है।
Urdu is also how the different indigenous groups and tribes of Hunza communicate with one another, because each of them speak their own isolated language.
आपको कौन सी ज़बान में बात करना ज़्यादा पसंद है, अंग्रेजी में या उर्दू में?
The literacy rate in Hunza is one of the highest in Pakistan, making it an incredibly progressive region for women, with women flourishing and leading in many factors.
Because of the combination of the high literacy rate, education and culture, the people here of Hunza, they are very, very different in comparison to the rest of Pakistan. They're very, very open-minded, very forward, very modern. I'm not saying the rest of Pakistan aren't, I'm just saying that the open-mindedness and the way of thinking and way of living is very different here in comparison to the rest of the country.
Now, despite the progressiveness of Hunza, mountain life is still an incredibly simple and hard life.
We have very, very limited electricity. Water sometimes stops. We don't have heating systems. You can see I'm indoors and I'm wearing a coat. It's actually warm today, hence I'm only wearing a coat. Otherwise I'd have more layers on and a scarf even indoors. So it is a very, very different lifestyle.
Obviously, it's only squatting toilets. And this is how we heat our iron if the hob has any gas.
So my journey here in Karimabad, Hunza, in a Hunzai local family home begins. I'm looking forward to taking you all on this journey with me. Every day I get so amazed by this family as to how they run this household, especially the mother and Amantika. The way Amantika will wake up every morning, she's only 19, and she will sweep the entire home. So again, they don't have the vacuum systems that we do in England, and even if they did have a Hoover, a vacuum, there's no electricity to charge the bloody thing or to plug it in. So we need to light a fire, but there isn't enough wood to burn. So I'm going to show you where I collect the wood from. I'm going to take you to the roof. And this is where we dry all the wood. So Uncle Amandika's father is responsible for collecting the wood, chopping it, and then he brings it here to the roof to dry. And then whenever we need wood to burn a fire, we come here to the roof, fill up this box, and we take it downstairs to the kitchen. Our water is absolutely freezing cold, and it comes directly from the glacier. You can see here that the water is dark. Now, it's not dark because it's dirty. It's dark because the water that we get from the glacier, it comes with all of its goodies, its minerals, its grit and whatnot. So in order to get rid of the grit, what we do is we store water in this tank over here. So if I show you here, the water is a lot clearer than what you see in that tub over there. So this is what I'm going to use to bathe. So I'm going to fill up this bucket. The benefit of filling it up in this tank is that the water, when it stays overnight, the grit, the dirt, the minerals, it sinks to the bottom and you have clearer water towards the top. So I've got hot water in there, cold water in here, and cold water in here. So what I'm going to do is be mixing the water and bathing very, very sparingly and trying my best to wash my absolutely dirty hair. I've had my shower, I'm out, I feel like a new woman, literally. It's so nice to be clean.
बस लगा लिया आपने साबुन?
अच्छा हो गया?
नहीं, बहुत कम लगा है, दोबारा लगा है।
मैंने यार पता है ये बार-बार मेरे हाथ से गिरते जा रहा है, मुझे पकड़ने नहीं आ रहा है। अभी मैं अमंती की तरह तेजी से करूंगी। क्या किया था आपने? ऐसे भी किया था?
हाँ ठीक करी, ठीक।
ऐसे?
हाँ
मैंने ऐसे फिल्मों में भी देखा है, ऐसे करते हुए।
अब निचोड़े और वो साइड करे बस।
अभी
दूसरे वाले
ये वाला करना है।
Everything here is cooked from scratch. You can't just pull out frozen food and warm it up in the oven, or pull out something from the fridge and microwave it, because there's no fridge and no microwave here and no freezer. It's time to cook dinner, so I've come to the roof. I'm going to collect it and put it in this box here to burn.
अच्छा पतला नहीं, छोटा, जैसे ये छोटा है। ऐसे? फिर ये ऐसे?
मिट्टी का तेल भी है ये।
अच्छा।
नहीं चलता है, हम तेल की तरह नहीं।
बस?
वो अंदर फेंक दो। नीचे नीचे रख।
या नीचे? चल गया।
The electricity magnanimously decided to bless us with her presence, so we got cooking. Today it's one of my favourites, dowdo. Dowdo is considered a traditional Hunza dish, but I have seen similar versions in other Himalayan ranges. So just like a lot of Hunza cuisines, dowdo is exclusive to Hunza, but comes from a bigger family of Himalayan cuisines. Dishes that have been designed for sustenance in high altitude conditions. Cooking was always such an exciting time for me because I cook a lot in England, but it's a complete different experience when you're cooking in some of the world's tallest mountains. Dowdo is a chicken noodle soup, with the noodles being homemade. Amantika first starts with rolling out the dough. This technique of wrapping the dough over the rolling pin was one that I'd never seen before.
अच्छा।
हम रोटी से दा।
हाँ, तो ये एक दूसरा तरीका है जब मशीन नहीं होती है।
Now there are two techniques to making the noodles. The first you see here is harder because you have to manually cut each small thin strip, which takes time, but in the end you do end up with these lovely noodles. However, my mountain family are bougie. So Amantika whipped out this fancy gadget which does the job in half the time. And check out just how cool these noodles are. She feeds the strips through, and before you know it, you end up with long, pretty noodles ready to throw into the mixture to be cooked. All of the cooking in our household was done by Amantika, and I learnt so much from this young lady about Himalayan dishes and techniques.
Wow! I love dowdo.
माशाल्लाह।
मेरे हाथ का।
मेरे और अमंतिका का हाथ का डाउडो। मैं सही कह रही हूँ, डाउडो।
हाँ। अंकल को कहो श्वान मनीला।
श्वान मनीला। श्वान मनीला।
अंकल।
अंकल। अंकल। श्वान मनीला।
सिंपल है ना बिल्कुल।
हाँ।
And that, ladies and gents, is dowdo for you. Who would have thought that a simple chicken noodle soup could be so delicious?
बिजली नहीं है, लेकिन अमंतिका अभी मेरा बिस्तर बिछा रही है। I love this bed so much.
तब आज ही छोटी लेके वजन ज़्यादा था मेरे वजन से ज़्यादा मेरे बिस्तर का वजन है ये एक और भी है यार मैं इतने लेती हूँ मेरे देखते मेरे कंबल कितने मेरे कंबल 1 2 3 4 5 अच्छा 5 में ऊपर से उड़ती हूँ और फिर नीचे है 1 2 3 4 तो 4 नीचे और 5 ऊपर में उड़ती हूँ 9
I've literally just woken up to go and help Ami Mehtab in the farm. Haven't even washed my face, I just put some sunglasses on to hide my face. This girl came and woke me up, dragged me out of bed. So this, ladies and gents, this is where in the night we collect the cow and the goat and we keep them indoors here during the night. Wow! आज मैं आंटी की तरह लग रही हूँ और अलीना मेरी तरह। अलीना ने मेरे बैग पकड़ा है और मैंने आंटी का टोकरी पकड़ा है। अभी हम खेत में पहुँच गए।
इस तरह उठा के टोकरी में डालते हैं।
क्योंकि कैसे करना है? अच्छा इस तरह
पक दो, इस तरह यूँ करो।
अच्छा हो गया, मैंने एक किया है। यार मैं घास काट रही हूँ। वाओ अलीना ने कितना अच्छा काटा मेरा बच्चा।
इस तरह पक दो तो आसान होता है। इस तरह नहीं पक दो, इस तरह एक हाथ में पक दो, ये हाथ में ना यूँ करो तो एकदम माशाल्लाह हसराती घास काटना है ना।
ये तो अभी से भारी है, आंटी तो इससे और घास लेकर जाती है। Firstly, I'm carrying less grass than what Auntie Mehtab carries. She's made it easy for me because I'm a newbie. What's really shocking for me is you see these strings, they're just so tight that they're digging into my shoulders. So I just don't understand how she carries so much more weight and the string is just digging into my shoulders. तो अभी ये घास हम गाय को देने वाले। हाँ शुक्रिया, ये बोझ कम होगा। हाय गाय, मैं आपके लिए खाना लेकर आई हूँ। नाश्ता करें आप। अभी बाकी घास कहाँ पे रखेंगे आप? ऊपर। ठीक है, और फिर यहाँ पे आप गाय का खाना पकाते हो? शाम में पकाएंगे हम?
शाम में पकाएंगे।
ठीक है। Look at how beautiful the views are. Everywhere is just stunning. चले फिर। I am back from the farm and I'm now going to wash my face and sort myself out because like I told you, I literally just jumped out of bed and just walked out the door. Didn't even change my clothes. These are the clothes that I slept in. So I'm just going to show you now how I wash every morning. So I've got a whole bucket here of glacier water. This is freezing cold water. Now every morning when I am just washing my face and cleaning my teeth, I just get the job done with the glacier water. But today, Auntie Mehtab has also boiled water. So this jug is full of hot water and I've got the glacier water there to mix with. I think she's just very, very proud of me that I worked in the farm today. So this warm water is my treat. It's now 4:30 p.m. after working in the farm. I spent the day going to people's houses, drinking tea and eating biscuits and whatnot. A lot of people, I've built a lot of relationships here. Right now I'm on my way back to the farm. Auntie Mehtab has already gone there. I'm crying because of the wind. This is her routine every day. She goes twice a day, every day. So I'm first going to stop off at this place I showed you earlier where we keep the cows and we keep the goats in the night. Auntie Mehtab, ऊपर है आप, मैं आ रही हूँ। Yay! अच्छा, तो ये भी जो खाना बच जाता है, ये क्या टमाटर, नान, प्याज, सेब। Hello sir. Hi. I am working. We're now going to the farm to go and collect the calf and get some grass. I've walked many dogs in my lifetime, but I've never walked a goat. So I've got, oh no, he's not allowed to eat the trees. I'm walking a goat. This is hilarious. Wait. So you've got this goat eating away here. Auntie Mehtab is cutting grass and then she's giving it to the baby. I'm walking a calf. Oi! Or they're walking me. I'm not really sure what's happening right now. Oh, come on, please. Don't make my life hard. This is already difficult for me. ये देखे मेरे दो बच्चे. Look, we're almost at your house. Come. Come. Here it is. जाओ अंदर. शाबाश, जाओ अंदर. Good boy.
को खाना लेके जाऊंगी.
अच्छा.
थोड़ा.
Okay, we've let this one go, and just watch how she knows exactly where to go. She just knows exactly how to get to her little home for the night. All by herself. I just love this. Alright, let me catch up to her. Look at her, she just knows. Oh man. Bismillah. क्यों नहीं हो रहा? मैंने डरा दिया इसे.
नहीं ये लाइट की वजह से.
आपको लाइट की जरूरत है ना?
नहीं वो लाइट बंद करो.
लेकिन फिर आपको कैसे नजर आएगा?
नहीं आएंगे आओ.
Now I'm going to have a go.
नहीं करो जोर से. लाइट ऑन करो अभी.
लेकिन डर नहीं जाएगी?
नहीं.
ऐसे आप ये पकड़े. अभी असरा की बारी. यहाँ ऊपर से जोर से. Oh my God, मैं कर रही हूँ. अच्छा, फिर भी ज्यादा जोर से करना है ना? ऐसे. यार. ओह सॉरी. दूध कितना देती है? बाल्टी पूरा भर जाएगा?
कभी भर जाएगा, कभी थोड़ा.
We're done for the day now. We're on our way back home. We've got the pail of milk for tonight and for tomorrow. And then tomorrow morning, back at it again. Hunza is renowned as a slice of heaven on earth. The region boasts some of the highest peaks in the world as it's nestled in the majestic Karakoram Mountains. The Karakoram Mountains are the second tallest mountains after the Himalayas. They fall in a complex range known as the Trans-Himalayas. This range consists of 4 of the world's tallest mountains: the Pamirs, Hindu Kush, Karakoram, and Himalayas, giving this complex range the name Trans-Himalayas. The locals, especially the young generation, are big trekkers. Well, it would be foolish to not be an explorer when you're literally living in paradise on earth. So my Hunza brothers, sisters and cousins would often take me on exciting adventures. Today being a trek to Malika Mo Shikari, a memorial dedicated to Queen Victoria. This historical landmark is not only a tribute to Queen Victoria, but also embodies the region's colonial history. Trekking with my Hunza family was always one of my most favourite activities. They were adventures that would bond us closer together as they took me to different viewpoints and we would get lost zigzagging through the narrow stairways and charming alleyways. My cousins also loved introducing me to new things, and most of the time they were pulling my leg. ये क्या चीज़ है? इसकी ये स्किन निकाल के खाना है.
इस तरह निकालते हैं, मैं दिखा दूं?
अच्छा जी, आप निकाले.
नहीं खाते इस तरह से. पूरा सारा खाते.
तो ये पूरा भी खाना है. अंदर गिरी है.
हाँ.
गिरी फेंकना.
गिरी का शिकार करते गिरी का गोश्त खाएंगे.
ऐसा लग रहा है मैंने पाउडर खाया है।
पाउडर ही है।
गले के लिए बहुत अच्छा है, गले की
गले और मैदे के लिए मुफीद है।
अच्छा,
इसको असल में कवर के साथ खाते हैं।
हाँ हाँ,
मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा।
अच्छा लगा खा के?
मीठा है लेकिन वो पाउडर है ना बहुत अजीब है,
ऊपर लग जाता है
जायका। हाँ, मेरा मुंह एकदम खुश्क हो गया है।
और ये बिल्कुल पके नहीं, कच्चे। ये तो पका हुआ है।
अच्छा, तो ये पका हुआ है।
कवर के साथ खाएं, कुछ नहीं
यार
होता।
अभी मुझे और डर लग रहा है।
कवर के साथ खाएं। यही बेटा।
अबरार मेरे स्किन के साथ खाया है, मुझे और बुरा लग रहा है।
कुछ नहीं होता ना, खाओ, मैंने नहीं खाया।
मेरा मुंह एकदम खुश्क हो गया, मेरी जुबान खुश्क है। आपने मुझे टाल्कम पाउडर तो नहीं दिया है ना?
जब बाहर निकल खुश्क होता है ना, बहुत मजा आता है।
मजा आता है।
फिर आपने एक खाया ना, आपको आदत भी नहीं है ज्यादा। हम तो बहुत ज्यादा खाते हैं सर्दियों में, बहुत ज्यादा।
अच्छा अबरार, आप अभी मुझे क्या खिलाने वाले, कहाँ लेकर जा रहे मुझे?
अखरोट के पत्ते खा सकती हैं। ऐसे ही खाएंगे तो आपके लिप्स थोड़ा ऑरेंज कलर के होंगे।
मतलब जैसे मैंने लिपस्टिक पहना है
की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी।
माशाल्लाह,
बिल्कुल जरूरत
तो
नहीं
मेरे
पड़ेगी।
पैसे बचेंगे।
जी, पैसे बचेंगे। अगर ऑरेंज कलर का करना है तो ये खा सकते हैं।
आपने एक्सपीरियंस
ठीक है।
स्पेशली लड़कियों के लिए बना है ये। मैं नहीं खा सकता। अगर आप एक्सपेरिमेंट करना चाहते हैं तो किसी लड़की को बुलाएं।
अच्छा, तो आप बता रहे थे कि एक जमाने में लोग ये पत्ता अखरोट के पत्ते इस्तेमाल करते दांत साफ करने के लिए, तो अभी भी लोग ऐसे दांत साफ करते?
कुछ लोग नहीं करते, ये आगे जो है इससे करते हैं। हुंजा में तो इससे करते हैं।
इसका जायका बहुत अजीब है।
तो अजीब होता है ना, बहुत ये है ना, इससे करे
हरे वाले से
चिबाना भी नहीं है यार। जैसे कि ये है ना, तो आप इस तरह इसको
तपोनी क्या नाम है?
यहाँ पे लगा है, देखे।
इतनी प्यारी बत्तीसी आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगी।
यार आपकी होठ लाल हो गई यार, इसने कितना लिपस्टिक लगाया, कितना लिपस्टिक लगाया अबरार ने। ये पूरा ले लूं मैं ये पानी? हाँ, चाहिए तो नहीं? Are you sure?
101
ठीक है। Today is a big day for Karimabad, so Alina and Sahil dragged me out of bed early morning so I don't miss out on the fun. This is Karimabad's Scout Band, and they're here today for a major event.
हमारे यहाँ
Match आज! अच्छा!
बहुत मजा आएगा हमें।
अलीबाद, करीमाबाद, हैदराबाद और अल्तिक, मतलब कि ये बहुत बड़ा मैच है। फाइनल, आज फाइनल है।
इतना खुश है, इतना खुश है।
It is the Hunza Premier League. Now, sport is a real big deal in Hunza, and the Burushos are known for their strength, endurance, and their remarkable athleticism. From tug of war to ice hockey, their competitions are so exciting, with all the villagers gathering to watch. ये बंदा कौन है साहिल? ये बंदा आपकी तरह लग रहा है। We started making our way up to Baltic Fortress, as this is where the show will begin.
Look at this very serious cameraman. Look at the concentration on his face and the lollipop in his mouth.
We got to the fortress and it was time to wait. But shortly after, the girl junior guides started making their way up. I couldn't take my eyes off them as they looked so sweet and cute in their uniform and traditional wear. After a necessary photo shoot with the girl guides, the boy junior guides appeared, looking all smart and serious, followed by the football teams who went inside the fortress, God knows why, and shortly after, the band were making their way up to us. Now, I have seen many percussion bands in my lifetime, but nothing like this, and especially with this postcard backdrop.
The band is now gone back down to the ground where they're going to play the match, so we're following them and trying to get to the ground as quick as possible.
We got back to the ground and it was an exciting bubble of chaos. I couldn't believe just how many people had gathered already. There was so much going on that even the balloons just had to escape the madness. It definitely was an exciting day for Central Hunza. The ground was filled with spectators, with people even sitting on the roofs of homes. And then the match began. This was a first for me, seeing drums playing during a football match. I guess the players need some rhythm when they're running about, right? Now, I was far too engrossed, so didn't feel much. But long story short, we won.
2-0 to Karim
पूरे करीमाबाद को मुबारक हो चुकी इन दोस्तों ने पूरा करीमाबाद का नाम रोशन किया है तालियां तो बजाते रहिए दोस्तों
हम जीत गए! The match was so intense. There was so much tension. Even though I'm new to this area and I'm not even Hunzai, I felt like my team was winning, my team was losing, but we won, so I'm happy. Now we're going home. आज घर में दोबारा एक हुंजाई ट्रेडिशनल डिश बन रहा है. इसका क्या नाम है मंतिका? गरमा. गरमा. तो अंदर क्या? ओह वाह, अब रोटी ऐसे ऊपर से डालेंगे. हाँ. ओह, तो नीचे क्या है? सब्जी. सब्जी. होए. यार ये बलून की तरह फूल गया है. अच्छा, अभी इसे तोड़ना है. हाँ, ये होई पालक की तरह लगता है ना? हाँ, इन पालक अलग है ना, उनका भी सब्जी बनाते हैं. अब ये दूसरी रोटी इसे भी तोड़ना है. और तीसरी तो 3 रोटियां डालेंगे बस. और भी हाँ, सब्जी मैंने ज्यादा डाला है तो रोटियां भी ज्यादा डाली. मुझे ये डिश बहुत पसंद है. बिस्मिल्लाह. खाओ.
बाजी.
कौन बाजी? माशाल्लाह, शबाश अमन का. एक और दिन, एक और ट्रैक और हम सब साथ में.
100 रुपया दे दो पाव के छुशवा.
Mini waterfall. लोगों ने ये रास्ता खुद बनाया है. माशाल्लाह. हम एडवेंचर पे जा रहे हैं. और आसिया भी बहुत क्यूट लग रही है. नहीं, अंग्रेजी में बोले ना. Beautiful. Asia is so cute. Oh.
Sahil and Sona are even cuter.
Thank you.
Today's trek, my family are taking me to visit a shepherd who spends a lot of time at higher altitude in this tiny stone cabin. They merely wanted to introduce me, but this was the beginning of a beautiful friendship between a shepherd uncle and I.
Wow, you speak amazing English.
Oh, very good, very fine.
Sir, what is your name?
My name is Sultan Khan.
Sultan Khan.
Yes.
And do you live here?
Yes, I am already living in winter and summertime.
And where did you learn English?
With cattle, I speaking many people coming tourist.
Ji.
We are speaking language, no much speaking English.
Oh, you're speaking a lot of English.
Yes.
A lot. And how old are you?
72 running.
Do you have children?
Sorry?
How many?
3 boys,
3 boys.
4 girls. I am try one more marriage.
Inshallah, inshallah. So how many wives? One wife? One wife and 7 children.
Yes.
And now you are trying for second wife. Your wife can try for second husband.
Yes.
आपको कोई एतराज नहीं है.
She is not coming here.
She's not coming here. She doesn't come to the mountain.
Yes.
Okay, so you have one wife who is down there
She is down. He's working.
working.
Other is coming here.
The mountain. Okay. I'm very, 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 very happy to meet you.
Thank you.
इंशाल्लाह हम बार बार मिलते रहेंगे
आपको खुश रखे। आपका ताल्लुक
मैं इंग्लैंड से आई हूँ सर,
इंग्लैंड।
लेकिन मेरी अंग्रेजी आपकी मुकाबले से टूटी फूटी है, मुझे शर्म आ रही है।
नहीं, no problem।
No problem। मैं आते रहूँगी, आप मुझे सिखा दीजिए, ठीक है?
इंशाल्लाह। आता है मैं आपको सिखाऊँ।
We're going to make some tea.
गिराएगा।
बकरी कितना प्यार, कितना तमीज वगैरह, आपने सही परवरिश की है। देखिए बकरी, मेरा कैमरा देखा, सूंघा भी लेकिन गिराया नहीं, बहुत तमीज वाला है, अच्छी परवरिश की आपने। Look at that, you can see the back of Buzzard Fort along the way. Such a fun way. घर पहुंच गए, बिजली नहीं है तो हमने टॉर्च लगाई है। देखिए अमंदिका बाहर भी काम, पहाड़ भी चढ़ना, घर पे भी काम। अमंदिका खाना पका रही है और मैं असिस्टेंट बनी हूँ। What Amantika is cooking here is yak meat. I had never seen or even heard of yaks until I started exploring the Himalayas. These shaggy, high-altitude animals are found across the Himalayan region and are essential to Himalayan people. Yaks provide milk, wool, and meat rich in protein with a slightly wild flavour. The exciting peaks of Hunza naturally attract mountaineers from across the globe, and one of them was a renowned Japanese climber, Hasegawa, who had his eyes set on Ulta Peak.
Hasegawa was also interested in climbing Ulta Peak. Then it was virgin. Nobody could reach to the top of.
Okay, so it was very difficult, or was it almost impossible?
It was not too high, but because of the harsh weather and challenges, it was not possible for anybody earlier to him. They were very close to the tip, their target, but suddenly the avalanche bubbled up. And then they were mixed and they were thrown down into the spine of the mountains, thousands of feet down. But
what a horrific death! I didn't realise that.
According to his will, he was buried in the lap of the mountain, very close in the spine of the Ulta Peak. The mountaineering is a game of life and death. If I couldn't come back, he said that do something for the public of Karimabad.
And Hasegawa School was born to honour his memory. The climber's wife, alongside the Japanese government, came together to build this school right here in Karimabad.
That incident made a history for Hunza.
The story is pretty incredible because
Who would have thought that a famous Japanese mountaineer would come from Japan to Pakistan because he loves the mountains of loves the mountains of the world, comes to the mountains of Pakistan and unfortunately has a horrific death here in Pakistan, and then a school is built in his name by his wife, and it's now one of the most popular schools in Hunza. So I'm sitting with Sherbaz in the new principal's office. So we have the principal over there in his very fancy seat. Sir, your name is? Rahmat Karim. And then this lovely lady sitting on the other side, she is this school's English teacher.
Yes.
And your name?
Fahmida Karim.
Fahmida Karim.
Which word is abstract? What does it mean? Students are really enjoying. Actually, I choose this profession not in terms of compulsion, but it is my passion because my mother is also a teacher. She teaches social studies and geography and history.
Wow. So both mother and daughter are teachers.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Struggle is the meaning of life. Success and failure is in hand of God. Beautiful.
अभी हम जा रहे हैं 9th grade में. May I come in?
Can anybody guess where I've come from? Any idea? Yes. America? Canada? No. If you listen to my accent, yes? UK, yeah. Can you understand my English?
Yes.
Okay. So I've come from England to Pakistan for the first time and I'm really enjoying it here so far. My grandfather is from Pakistan. So once lockdown lifted, I booked a flight and I just came to Pakistan alone. I've been in Hunza now for around coming up to 50 days. So I heard about this school, Hasegawa. I've been told that the children at Hasegawa are very sharp, they're very clever. Is there any questions you have for me? No, you have to ask me in English.
In English? Yes, you are supposed to ask her in English. How do you feel to be here in Hunza?
I love your culture, I love your language. अगर आपको उर्दू में भी पूछना है पूछ सकते हैं.
Afzal is asking about your education.
You Afzal? You're Afzal, okay. What would you like to know? शर्माना नहीं, कुछ भी पूछे आप. अच्छा ठीक है, उर्दू में पूछ रहे हैं. इजाज़त है उर्दू में बात करने के लिए.
For today's you can.
अच्छा मैं नहीं होती तो फिर बात अंग्रेजी में होती है. अच्छा ठीक है.
I had assumed that the teaching system would be in their mother tongue Burushaski, but it's all done in Urdu. So the kids are learning a third language in their second language. Imagine thinking in Burushaski whilst learning English, whilst being taught in Urdu. 3 completely different languages going on at the same time that have zero similarities. Now, if that isn't impressive, I don't know what is.
We have got many potential future scientists and technologically sound boys and girls here in this school.
Mm-hmm.
So what we dream is that could it be possible for all of them to go to Tokyo,
Yes.
Japan? Japan community is ready to give us support to make this school rise into a university.
Wow.
And that is the dream.
Hasegawa may have never left this valley, but his legacy lives on, not just in stones and mortar, but in the minds of every student who has passed through these doors. Hasegawa School is not just dedicated to education, but to resilience, adventure, and the belief that knowledge, like the mountains, can lift us higher.
Another day, another school. Yesterday I went to the Japanese school, Hasegawa. Today I'm on my way to Alina and Sahil's school. Now Alina is 10 years old and Sahil is 8. Look at their daily route to school, it's such a cool route. Okay, I'm not 100% sure where I'm going, hopefully I won't get lost. Alina रास्ते में मिल गई, चलो मुझे स्कूल लेकर जाइए अपना, ठीक है? ठीक है, अब आगे चले. Hi! Yay! आपका स्कूल मिल गया मुझे, मैं गुम गई थी, पता है? I got lost but I made it on time. Look, the kids getting ready for assembly. कितने सालों से आप ये स्कूल चला रही हैं?
Last 6 years.
6 years. Wow. और स्कूल का नाम क्या है?
High Asia Mount City School.
अच्छा, और आप अभी तक थक नहीं गए बच्चों को पढ़ाते पढ़ाते?
थकना कहाँ, मैंने अभी इसको मजीद आगे लेके जाना है.
Assembly is always led by 2 of the students, and I was pleasantly surprised to see Sahil at the front today. They start the day with Islamic prayers. This is a chapter out of the Quran, the holy book for Muslims.
فجعلهم كعصف مأكول. Make me all today whole. Make me all today whole. Obedient to my parents. Obedient to my parents. Respectful to my teachers. Respectful to my teachers. True to my friends. True to my friends. And I hate you. And I hate you.
Ameen.
What is our slogan? We shall be vegan. What is our slogan? We shall be.
Watching this assembly, I can see why the people of Hunza are flying ahead in life. Blimey, if I had this in my school 20 years ago, I would have been a bloody millionaire by now.
We can do what we want to do.
Then it's time for the morning workout. They start with a stretch and a wiggle, followed by arms, clapping, clicking obviously because we can't forget those fingers and thumbs, shoulders, hips, then a jog, and by this point I was exhausted just watching them.
आपने बहुत अच्छा किया. High five. ठीक है, मैं भी आ रही हूँ. Okay, I'm not going to speak in Urdu now.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to only speak in English.
Yeah.
Which subject do you like the most in this school? मेरी बात समझ आई? Okay.
My name is Kashan and my favorite name is subject is Science SST Maths.
What's SST?
Social
Social studies. Favorite subject is English with Asra.
I like maths.
A lot of people like maths. Who is the maths teacher? अच्छा शायद इसलिए पसंद है, शायद उस्ताद बहुत पसंद है. उर्दू. वाओ. आप पहले सीखे फिर मैं आपको हायर करूंगी और आप ही मेरी उस्ताद बने, ठीक है? Okay, what we're going to do now. Oh यार मेरे साइज से नहीं पूछा. So I would like to know, aside from Pakistan, which other countries do you know about? कितने मुल्क इस दुनिया में? Yes, Rosina. 1000 करोड़. Okay, this is one answer. What? Give me another answer. 4. No, we've got to speak in English, right? 4. 1,000. There's 195. So out of 195 countries in this world, one is Pakistan. Another one is England, where I've come from. Iran. Very good. Yes,
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
China.
Yes, Ali. G. India. I don't understand Urdu. You have to speak in English. One by one, you have to tell us your name, your age, your favourite colour.
My name is Iran. I'm 7-year-old. I like color orange.
So do you like the orange trees? They're very beautiful, aren't they? दरख्त कितने प्यारे लग रहे, सारे पत्ते ऑरेंज हो गए हैं ना, कितने प्यारे लग रहे. पता है मैं खजा जो मौसम है ना, इसी वजह से मैं हुंजा में रुकी हूँ, क्योंकि मैं हुंजा से निकलने वाली थी. I was going to leave हुंजा. मेरे दोस्तों ने कहा नहीं अभी तो नहीं जा सकते हो, अभी तो हुंजा का सबसे खूबसूरत मौसम शुरू होने वाला है. You cannot miss the season. खजा को अंग्रेजी में कैसे बोलना है? Not spring, autumn. Yes. My Hunzaya friends, like Alina and Sahil as well, they said you cannot leave. You have to see autumn because it's beautiful, because everything becomes orange. Okay, well I would like to thank you very much for your time. मैंने क्या कहा इसका तर्जुमा करें? I have full faith that you all will go very, very far in life. यकीन, शाबाश अली, यकीन थोड़ा मुश्किल है. तो मुझे पूरा यकीन है that all of you, आप सब will go very far
in life? आप जिंदगी में बहुत आगे जाएंगे. One final round of applause. The lady who runs this school, she's given me class 1. They're all, I believe, 8 years old. आप सबको 103 पेज पे जाना है, ठीक है? हम आज स्पीकिंग का करें जी. So I'm going to do English speaking. Count your things. Practice addition with a partner. I am now done for the day. That was exhausting. मैं जा रही हूँ. आप सबने मुझे बहुत थका दिया है. I'm now leaving. Teaching young kids is so hard. I'm exhausted. Allah Hafiz.
Fun fact about my Hunza mother, she's not actually from Hunza. She's from another valley called Yasin. Mum had only moved to Hunza after she married my Hunzai father. So we set off on a 6-hour road trip because Mum was very keen for her new adopted English daughter to see where she was from and what Yasin was all about.
Oh my God, kitne pyare!
The journey was incredibly eventful with plenty of pit stops, especially to get other fellow travellers out the way. After arriving in Yasin, it was so lovely to meet my mother's family and get involved with their day-to-day life. Some of the activities I hadn't even experienced in Hunza yet. My mum's nephew very kindly toured me around everywhere on his motorbike.
यार मैं इतनी गंदी लग रही हूँ. I'm so dirty and messy, my goodness. But Sherbaz over here, he's been on my case ever since I've arrived here in Yasin. What's the difference that you can tell between Hunza and Yasin? What's the difference? To be honest, since I've arrived, I've only been here for about a day and a half now. I couldn't really tell much difference because Yasin is just so beautiful just the way Hunza is. So yeah, it's just this incredible scenery in Hunza and in Yasin as well. So I couldn't really tell the difference. So today, Sherbaz set off on a mission to make sure that he takes me to a place where I can see that I'm in Yasin and I can believe that I'm in Yasin and I'm no longer in Hunza. And I've got to say, he's done a marvelous, splendid job. तो आपको भी कैसा लग रहा है कि मैंने अभी आखिर में बता भी दिया है. ठीक है, अभी मुझे यकीन हो गया है कि Hunza और Yasin में फ़र्क है. तो आपको कैसा लग रहा है?
तो मुझे अपनी इलाके का मुझे अपना इलाका बहुत पसंद है
जी.
क्योंकि मैं जहाँ भी जाता हूँ तो मेरा ये कोशिश रहती है कि मैं अपनी इलाके की तारीफ़ करूं और लोगों को अपने इलाके की तरफ गामज़न करूं, लोगों को मोटिवेट करूं. यासीन हुंजा से बहुत मुख्तलिफ है क्योंकि हमारा इलाका बहुत खूबसूरत है, लेकिन
इसलिए आपको इतना गुस्सा आ रहा था जब मैं कह रही थी कि मुझे फ़र्क नहीं नज़र आ रहा है. हुंजा और यासीन में फ़र्क
मैं ये कह रहा हूँ ना, मतलब हुंजा से बहुत खूबसूरत है और जगुन से भी
हुंजा से ज़्यादा खूबसूरत है.
जी जी,
ये कैसी बात कर, जितने भी हुंजाई लोग हैं ये देख के उन्हें गुस्सा आएगा.
नहीं, गुस्सा तो नहीं आएगा क्योंकि मुझे यकीन है कि वो भी लोग यहाँ वो लोग इधर आते ना उनको भी पता चलता है कि ये इलाका कितना खूबसूरत है.
After a few days in Yasin, Mum and I said goodbye and travelled back home to Hunza.
Day 98 in Pakistan. I am still living in Karim Azeez in Hunza. Today I am taking a day trip to another village in Hunza called Ganish. Ganish is a village that I came from back to Karim Azeez, so you guys should have seen plenty of videos in Ganish. So right now I'm at the viewpoint that's overlooking the village Ganish. You can see all of that, all of this. It's all Ganish. Do you remember the couple that I met on a trek when I was coming back? They were carrying wood and they so very kindly took me into their home. Well, I think I only showed you on camera one evening with them. When in reality what happens is that after that first meeting, I would then go to their home every single day. So our bonding is pretty strong. So I'm going back to Ganish to visit them and I'm really excited to give the couple a present that I've got for them. Now what the present is, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to show you, I'll show you when I show them. Okay, I have arrived in Ganish. Come, assalamu alaikum. कैसे आप अच्छा मैं जब पहली दफा आपके घर आई थी ना मैंने कहा था कि ये मैं आपके लिए लेकर आऊंगी ये मेरी तरफ से आप दोनों के लिए
गिफ्ट
खोले 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 अभी भाईजान ने अपने ये तस्वीरें देखे अब ये पूछ रहे कि इनकी जो जवानी की तस्वीर है वो मैं ऐसे बना सकती हूँ या नहीं मैंने कहा जरूर बना सकती हूँ
अब हम जा रहे हैं नीचे ट्री हाउस पर और ये आप अशरफ को लेकर
मैं आपका लेके मुझे दे दे आप आगे चले और रास्ता दिखाइए ये किसने बनाया है
अब्बू ने बनाया
अब्बू ने बनाया है हाय मेरा बच्चा साहिल भी आ गया है
मैंने इतना एंजॉयमेंट किया
अच्छा
हाँ
अपने
घूमने गया था
ये मैंने आपके लिए खत लिखा है अब ये बहुत मुश्किल खत है मैंने अंग्रेजी में लिखा है पहली दफा
Two very beautiful and lovely friend Alina and Sahil
Sing
as you always very right to me in English.
Isn't life funny sometimes? Who would have thought that a simple British countryside girl would pack her backpack to explore her grandfather and great-grandfather's country and would end up finding a Himalayan family? Who would have thought that one of the most horrific incidents of my life would end up becoming one of the most beautiful?
Seeing as you always write to me in English, I decided to write today's letter to you in English.
None of this still makes any sense to me. I was supposed to travel Pakistan for just a couple of weeks, yet 100 days just passed by, and 60 of those spent in Hunza alone. My heart will always have a special place for the Burusho people. They were there when I was at my weakest.
I'll never forget the time that you spent with me when I was unwell.
And when I finally recovered, they didn't send me back to my guest house. They made me one of them. I realised that Hunza isn't just a place that you visit, it's a place that changes you. My mother and sister Amantika have never been down to sea level. All they know to life is this Himalayan range. And that's the case for a lot of mountain tribes that live in cut-off and extremely remote areas. It's incredibly hard to progress in life. And it's why my sister Amantika has worked tirelessly to pursue education. And it gives me great pride that such a simple, beautiful mountain girl now has an opportunity to study abroad. Ladies and gents, if you've been moved by my journey, if any part of my story has touched you and you felt connected to my family and I through your screens, then it would mean the world if you could consider supporting my sister. I've put the link in the description box below, and just know that this is a huge deal for mountain people, so you would be completely changing her life. I left Hunza with a promise to my mountain family that when it was time for me to leave Pakistan for good, I would return to Hunza to say goodbye. This, ladies and gents, was the story of a people, a culture, and a valley unlike any other. But more than that, it was my story of what it means to be truly taken in, to belong. And before I go, those of you who decide to support my mountain sister, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Or as we say in Burushaski, Juna.